what's up? It's Big Hot Rod and L Train coming at y'all. Man, it's the T-Train show. Y'all know what time it is, man. What up, T? What up? Hot Rod. What up? L Train. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's the
Welcome to another edition of Three the Hard Way. We are in the house. Let me introduce my fellas so we can get started, man. We got a lot of stuff to tackle. This is a great time of year if you're a sports fan. But right here with us, as always, is the influencer, Mr. Hot Rod, Rodney Young. What's going on, Hot Rod?
What's up, fellas? Three the Hard Way Nation. Y'all know who this is. It's your friendly neighborhood coach. And as I always say, you may not like what I'm saying, but you will listen.
And the captain of Three the Hard Way, Mr. Terrence Austin T. What's going on?
What's happening, Three the Hard Way Nation? What's going on, fellas? Let's get this ship underway. Let's get rolling. Let's go.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm not a big-time gambler, but if somebody out there had Indiana and Miami in the national championship of college football, I want to see that ticket because I know I didn't have that at all, fellas. This is going to be
close.
Even though it's two teams that nobody expected to be in a national championship, I think this is going to be a hell of a national championship game. Two teams of destiny, two teams that are well coached, two teams that have talented athletes on both sides of the ball, two legit quarterbacks, in my opinion. I mean, for a national championship, other than Ohio State being in there somewhere, you can't get any better than that. You guys looking forward to the national championship game?
I sure am, and I bet, you can tell them that they weren't expected to be
That's
there,
right.
okay, all both of those teams, yeah. But no, I did not see this coming, okay? Again, I thought our Buckeyes were going to be there to represent Indiana. I knew they were good, of course, the U as well, too, especially that defense that the U has. But no, I did not. Yeah, I did not see this one coming. And this is going to be a hard one to predict. It really is. But, I'm going to lean on the allegiance of the Big Ten, being a Big Ten fan, okay? Because, again, for years, it's been the SEC and everybody else. Not anymore, especially with this NIL, okay?
Yep.
But for this game at hand, I really don't have a rooting interest, but in the back of my mind, underneath it all, I like to see Indiana win, just for, the Big Ten, okay? I would really like to see them win. And I've never, cared for that Miami team. I have a lot of respect for them.
Yep.
And a lot of the talent that they've put in the NFL, no doubt, got respect for those guys, but I'm not a fan of theirs. So let's go Indiana, let's go Hoosiers, again, so we'll have three teams out of the Big Ten that are national champions. So
that's crazy.
That's my take.
That's
but
crazy.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's no one here predicted that Miami, and Indiana was going to be here. But just watching how both teams played, I think it's going to be an outstanding national championship game.
I agree.
Miami has been blood and guts. They've been grit. They've been getting after it. Their defensive line has been off the chain. They've been flying around the football. Their quarterback has been outstanding. But Indiana, I said this before, I'll keep saying it. I did not realize how good Indiana really is.
Yeah.
And I watched it. And I mean, they beat the brakes off of Oregon. And I did not think that Indiana was that good. But, yes, I'm like the Cap. My allegiance is to the Big Ten. The Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, should win this game because
he's growing on me, Hot Rod. He's growing on me.
Yeah, he is. I said this, and is not being critical of him. He was 17 of 20 for 177 yards and 5 touchdowns. And so, it's ridiculous, but he controlled tempo. And just talking to him, he's an engaging young man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's very engaging, very personable. He looks like he plays like a kid. He just loves playing the game. So
and he puts the passes right on the money too, Hot Rod. He drops them right in the basket, right in the basket.
If I'm gonna throw my bones in for this national championship game, I'm riding with Indiana.
Yeah, yeah. With the whole NIL stuff, it is changing the landscape of college football. Here's what I want your opinion on, fellas. Like, everybody's been talking about how absent the U has been since their glory days, way back in the early 2000s. And Indiana, for all intents and purposes, has really never been, football-wise in this sort of stage. Is this a flash in the pan? Is this 1 year for Indiana? Is the U really back? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was just going to ask the same question. I was going to ask Hot Rod, do you see Indiana being this good next year as well? I know you said that his little brother is next in line.
And he can ball, T. He's not bad either.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So, yeah, ask our expert, Hot Rod, is Indiana going to do we no longer, is it, we're going to have to worry about Michigan and these guys as well next year? Yeah, is it going to be all both of them?
Well, to answer your question, Michigan is probably going to take about a couple years.
Agreed.
But
they're still Michigan, though. They're still Michigan.
Yep.
They're still Michigan, but it's going to take about a couple years. Everything is in cycles, and so Indiana right now and credit to Kurt Signetti and what he's done in Indiana over the last couple years. But to answer your question, do I think this is going to be the next 3-4 years we're going to talk about Indiana? No, I don't. I think this honestly, I think this is a one-hitter quitter.
I don't
think
know,
because they're losing. You got to understand the senior class that they have. They're losing a lot.
Yeah.
Now with this NIL, you never know
and
who
Mark
they're going to
Cuban
get.
being their best friend.
Yeah,
Mark Cuban
right.
being
But I also look at it like this: the Buckeyes have been in the NIL. They've brought some people on. They've already got Caleb Downs' replacement. Okay, they've already got him, and so is Indiana going to be in the mix? I'm not going to say Indiana's not going to be in the mix. They are. So you're looking at Ohio State. You're looking at Indiana. You're looking, and those are the two I'm looking at right now. I'm not counting Penn State. Penn State is a dumpster fire right now. Oregon. You see what happened to Oregon.
Yeah,
I'm not
they
looking
need
at
to take
Oregon.
a whole season off after that last game.
I'm not looking
go
at
away
SC.
for a year.
Right now, it is Indiana and it is Ohio State, with Michigan a distant third that I see. So could Indiana do this again next year? Yeah. The sunshine on the dog's behind sometimes. Anybody can hit the lottery if they play the right number.
Yeah.
But that Buckeyes team is retooling. You got to remember, you're going to have Julian Sain in that offense again next year. You're going to have Jeremiah Smith in that offense again next year. Bo Jackson in that offense. You're going, and
they better improve that offensive line, Hot Rod.
Yeah,
they have to. That's a must.
Yeah,
that's a must.
And Matt Patricia has already said, because he was somebody that they talked about possibly for coming back to the NFL.
Yeah.
But Matt Patricia said he's staying. He's staying at Ohio State. Now, after Jeremiah Smith is gone, that could be Katie by the door. Don't know. But to answer the question, yes. Can Indiana run this back? Yeah. Do I think they will? No.
Anyway that, because I've heard these rumors out there, and this time of year there's always rumors. I got a couple of emails this week with this same question. Anyway, Signetti goes to the NFL if he gets the right offer. Now, I know that he just signed a pretty lucrative contract with the Hoosiers, but do you see any scenario? Like, I don't think so, but I'm going to ask the question to you guys, put it to the panel. Any way he leaves Indiana, knowing that Indiana is a tough job to really sustain where they are right now, any way he goes to the NFL, fellas?
Yeah, if the right job, comes his way, he'll leave,
Okay?
okay? Because these guys are leaving. Look at Lane Kiffin and look at others. And not only him, I hear that they're also looking at the Notre Dame coach, okay?
Oh, yeah.
They're looking at him. Yeah, and there's a couple others out there, names that were mentioned the other day when, Miami, fired their coach.
Yep.
And then, Green Bay's coach, we don't know, what may come of that. Let's say in a couple of days, they cut his tail loose,
Yep.
and, Cincinnati wins the national championship in Indiana. Hey, in this day and time, L Train, you can't say that these guys are going to be loyal and stay where they are. If the right opportunity comes, they're out the door, man. Yeah, they're out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a statement that a professional wrestler by the name of
Drum
Ted
roll.
DiBiase used to say. Ted DiBiase used to say, everybody has a price
Yeah.
for
Sure
the
does.
$1 Million Man.
Sure does. Sure does.
Do I
Sure
believe?
does.
I mean, if the right offer came, would Signetti take that offer?
A
I
la
think he
Green
would
Bay.
think about it. I think he would think about it. But the
Yeah, he would.
reason, and I'm gonna bring this take, I don't think Kurt Signetti would be a good NFL coach. I think Kurt Signetti, the way he is built to be a college football coach.
Okay.
I don't see him. I see him kind of in that Nick Saban, Urban Meyer type of mode. Chip Kelly, who they're very successful in the college game, but they get to the pros and they are a fish out of water. That's how I see Kurt Signetti. I think he's done a great job. It's not a knock on him.
Yep.
I just don't see him as an NFL coach. He just doesn't look like he has the mentality to be an NFL coach.
I beg to differ, Rod. I hear where you're coming from because we've seen so many that have crossed over and it didn't work out. But something about this guy, okay, something about him tells me that he may be successful at the NFL level, okay?
Yep.
I just think back to when they asked about his previous stuff. He said, Google me, I win. I think,
I get it.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Rod. But something tells me I think he might be good at the NFL level. I wouldn't be surprised if he crossed over. Yeah, all the other ones have tanked. They have.
The only other college coach that I thought was successful in the pros was Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh was successful in the pros, then went back to Michigan. He went to college, and then he came back, and he's successful again.
So not many have done it. I hear you. Not many have done it.
Other than Harbaugh, I urge our Three the Hard Way fans, tell me what coach came from the college ranks and was really successful in the NFL.
Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
Jimmy Johnson is one.
Jimmy Johnson. I just thought about that. Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
But so I just
not many have done it. You're right. Not many have done it.
It's just something about Signetti, and like I said, it's no knock on him. I think he's a very, very good coach.
Yeah.
Because Indiana was a cellar dweller for many, many years.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the greatest thing that came out of Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, was Antoine Randall L.
Yeah.
When he was quarterback at Indiana.
And he was nice.
You know
too.
what I mean?
He was nice.
Yeah, he was nice.
He was nice.
And that was a long time ago. So, but do I think? I mean, anything's possible. If you give a guy the right price, he'll walk away. He'll walk away.
Yeah. I'll give you another name. And people probably in the Texas area may differ, but Barry Switzer didn't do bad. Didn't do bad in Dallas.
That's true, too. Forgot about him. Forgot about him.
Dallas.
But the pushback on Barry Switzer is that he inherited a Jimmy Johnson team.
Correct.
He sure did.
Correct.
So
but you got to give him credit for not crashing it though. You got to give him credit for keeping that truck in the road.
But I go as far
as
this. I give you this, Cap. Hold up, Cap, because I'm one of many people who don't give a whole lot of credit to Phil Jackson.
Okay.
As being the greatest coach in the NBA. Because I've never seen Phil Jackson build a team.
I'm right there with you,
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Phil
Jackson.
Right.
I've always felt it was Larry Brown and what he did up in Detroit.
Yeah, Phil Jackson won with teams that had already been assembled.
Yeah,
true.
So that when that discussion comes up, a great NBA coach. Yes, he was a great NBA coach, but he's not in the class of a Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach built that Boston Celtics team brick by brick. And when you look at Greg Popovich built that San Antonio Spurs team.
I look at Larry Brown and what he did in Detroit.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So when you go to Barry Switzer, I'm like, I kind of back up on that because you inherited Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, and I mean the three of us.
Michael Irvin.
I agree.
Could take that team.
I agree, and I have to be consistent because I feel the same way about John Gruden when he took over for Tony Dungy. So same sort of deal. Man, Signetti, I think if he, going back to that, I think if he wins the national championship, all bets are off. I think he's going to get some calls from the
he will get some calls
from the NFL.
He will.
Yeah.
Going off of what Hot Rod said, I don't know how successful he'll be because those type of things. I think Hot Rod has a good point. There hasn't been a whole lot of college head coaches that have been successful in college that has transitioned to the NFL. and been really good. There has been some, but there hasn't been a whole lot. So it'll be interesting to keep our eye on that because there's going to be a lot of openings. And I think on Monday or early this week, there's going to be a few more openings in the NFL. So it's going to be
Because
interesting.
right now there's 8 openings, right?
Yep.
There's 8, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it's going to
And
be
possibly 9 after what happened to Green Bay.
That's right.
Possibly a 9th one.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So speaking of openings, let's transition to our opening, the Cleveland Browns. I've heard a lot of stuff, man. I'm hearing stuff from all over the place. Rumors, people talking about this person may take the job. You know, you got the Harbaugh thing. Fellas, what have you been hearing over the past couple of days? You know, who's picking up steam? Who's not picking up steam? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Cleveland Browns search?
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of things, okay? Been hearing a lot of things. Now, when John Harbaugh, got released a few days ago, I immediately said, hey, do whatever you can to get him. I forgot that they have Ohio ties. I
Yeah.
think his mother was from Cleveland and they moved to
Yeah.
Elyria or whatever have you. So they have northeastern, Ohio, ties. So I immediately wanted him. But then I after I listened to, some of the things, some of the experts were saying that he lost that locker room in Baltimore and he and, Lamar Jackson weren't on the same accord. And then you look at how the last few years they've kind of flamed out in the end, okay? But yet and still, you look at his overall body of work, his record, he's worth a call. He's worth, an invite into the building. He really, really is. Now, with all the openings out there and the other, teams that need head coaches too, what would make him really want to come to Cleveland? Okay. What would make him? And again, he would be the one that would interview our owner instead of the owner asking all the questions. He'd be asking all the questions because he's, sitting in the seat, he's the proven guy. Okay. But I tell you, I was really excited early on, but then I said, no, there's too many other teams out there, and what would make him want to come here? Fast forward to now, and again, to answer your question, there's a lot of rumors out there. But for right now, you know what? I'd like for us to give Jim Schwartz a job. Go ahead and give him the job because I don't think there's nobody else out there that, really, really wows me. I don't know about Hot Rod and how you feel, but there's nobody else out there that really, really wows me. They were talking a little bit about Mike McDaniels. No, I don't want him. I don't want him. Maybe as a coordinator, but not as a head coach. But for right now, I think our best fit is just to go with Schwartz and, see what he can do because he's already there. He knows the personalities. He knows how things work. I trust him to get, a good OC in there and other pieces, a good special teams coach, and let's roll with this thing. But I'm for right now, I don't see anything else out there other than Harbaugh that really wows me. So give it to Schwartz.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Yep.
So, just getting information. I'm telling the Three the Hard Way Nation, and I'm telling Cleveland Browns fans, and this is the one and only time that I will, agree with some of the pundits. John Harbaugh is not coming to Cleveland. John Harbaugh is not coming to Cleveland. He wants total control. And he's not going to get that. Not as long as Jimmy Haslam is there.
Yeah, not here.
He's not going to get that.
Right.
So
Right.
We can X out Harbaugh.
Mhm.
It was said that today I heard on the Ultimate Cleveland sports show.
Darn good show. Darn good show.
Yeah, and I've heard on there where the Browns have already let it be known that Jim Schwartz is going to be around. So whatever coach comes in there, he's basically going to inherit Jim Schwartz as a defensive coordinator. Now, the tenured coaches, the real successful coaches, are not going to go for that. So you can pretty much start Xing out certain people. Okay. The only ones that you'll get at this point, because the Browns dictated who you're going to keep, is going to be a young, inexperienced coach. I got a couple up here. I know Jeff Hadley, who's the DC in Green Bay. I know Tyvis Powell spoke highly of him because he was his DB's coach when Tyvis Powell was playing. However, watching what happened yesterday, I don't know if the Browns really want to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want him.
Matt LaFleur is out here, Clint Kubiak, Chris Shula. He carrying that name. He got the Shula name, so that means offensively, he may be wanted. There's a lot of others, but I think the Browns want an offensive-minded guy. Now, McDaniel, I agree with you, Cap. He would not be head coach of my team, but I would recommend him as an offensive coordinator.
Agreed.
Because he
no
is
doubt,
an
no
offensive mind.
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
And when
Yes,
you
he is.
watch
Yes,
when
he is.
Miami was winning, they were
Right.
very creative on offense.
Yes, they
Okay.
were. Yes,
So
they
I
were.
would love to, even though, I know they want to keep Tommy Reese in the room, but, Tommy Reese may end up in college. He's been sought after by a lot of college teams to come and coach in college. But what I see is an offensive-minded guy. They want an offensively-minded, disciplined kind of guy. If that does not work, then do not be surprised that Jim Schwartz does not become the coach of the Cleveland Browns. Okay? Because the locker room thinks so highly of him. Okay? And Jim Schwartz is a disciplined kind of coach. And that's what the Browns really need. Is they need an offensive. If you get Schwartz as the head coach, you got to get him a good offensive coordinator. That's the actual search. Is you got to get him a good offensive coordinator, okay, and definitely a special teams coach because Bubba Ventrone, thank goodness, is gone. So now you gotta rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So, but Andrew Berry is pulling all of the strings, and people are upset about that. Let me ask you guys. What do you guys think about Stefanski being terminated, but them keeping Andrew Berry? What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, T. I'll let you answer that first, man.
Well, we kind of saw that coming, based on the draft that, Andrew Berry, picked last year, okay? I'm kind of torn. Down the stretch, I was okay if they would have kept Stefanski, but I understand why he had to go, okay? I understand. Now, but ejecting him, but keeping Andrew Berry, does that really, really clean up the mess? Man, I really don't see it, okay? And I know when L Train gets his turn, he's already said he's done with the coordinators. He's done with going with the coordinator route. So I already know I can look at his face and tell where he's coming from. But it doesn't really, make me feel like, okay, we're moving in the right direction, okay? The only thing that would make me feel like we're moving in the right direction right now is if we just give it to Schwartz, okay? Anything other than that, man, I tell you, I'm not really looking forward to it. So because again, like I say, really, if you really wanted to clean house, both of them should have been gone. But Barry did such a great job in the draft. I understand why his job was salvaged. I understand it. But again, what you just described, Rod, the choices that they have, it doesn't make me feel good at all. Okay. Now, it would make me feel great if Harbaugh took the job and say, okay, I got it. And they gave him, free range to do whatever. I'd feel pretty good about that. But anything else that happens other than Schwartz keeping the job, I ain't feeling good about it at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. Kevin Stefanski is a joke. And the fact that, when I hear a lot of pundits from around the league talking about, Kevin Stefanski is going to get swallowed up pretty quickly here. He's going to be a head coach next year. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm not in their inner circles, but Kevin Stefanski, if it's not the Giants' job and it looks like Harbaugh is trending towards that direction, I don't think Kevin Stefanski gets the job. Kevin Stefanski did a horrible job in Cleveland, a horrible job. You have guys that understand the game that talks about his X's and O's, his offensive philosophy was on the level of a high school coach. You know what I'm saying? And so I know he won the 2 coaches of the year. Everybody hangs their hat on that. But when you're with the Cleveland Browns organization has been so bad that if you do anything significant, you are going to be coach of the year. Doesn't make you a good coach. And then in terms of Andrew Berry, I think the draft, and I know we talked about this pre-show, Hot Rod, you made a great point. I think this past year's draft, man, fellas, that was a hell of a draft, man.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That was a hell of a draft.
was.
So I think you have
Yes, it
to
was.
err on the side of caution that maybe Andrew Berry may be trending in the right direction. So rather than facelift everything in a year that's pretty crucial for the Cleveland Browns in terms of Shedeur Sanders and where this team is and trying to find a coach, I can kind of understand them keeping Andrew Berry. I don't necessarily agree with it, but just looking at what they would have to do in terms of if he was out of here too, facelift and everything, I mean, man, that would be pretty significant. And so I feel like that's the reason why they kept him in-house.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, but remember, he's 2-time coach of the year. Stefanski was. You just letting him go.
Yeah.
You know, but you got Barry, and like I said, I'm playing the other side of the fence. Okay, you give him this one draft, which is a great draft, but what about the other previous 5?
Yeah.
That he
That
had?
is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And
You know what I mean?
see, I have a little bit more history with Kevin Stefanski because he came from the Vikings. And I didn't necessarily.
Because how long did y'all have him up there in Minnesota? How long was he up there?
Years. I mean, he wasn't always the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, but he was quarterbacks coach and he was special assistant to the head coach. So he was around. But I remember when the Cleveland Browns hired him, I wasn't for the hire. I just didn't think that he had proven enough in a leadership position to be able to get that job. And I feel the same way going into this coaching search. The Cleveland Browns, fellas, is a unique situation. This is a team that essentially has not been really good. I mean, they've had their seasons, but since the Browns became the Ravens, they haven't been really good. So it's right now it's time to stop playing games. Hot Rod, you just said it a few minutes ago. Everybody has a price. The Cleveland Browns need to open up that checkbook and go get the closest thing to a for sure thing that they could possibly get. It's time. Listen, man, I'm 52 years old, and I want to see the Browns. I want to see the Browns win the Super Bowl. So this coach, whoever it is, has to be the right choice. It can't kind of be. It can't be, well, I think he's going to be a really good choice. You got to get the closest thing to a guarantee that you can possibly get. Nothing is a guarantee, but I think you've got to aim in that direction because it's time for the Cleveland Browns to do something, man. That's just the way I feel.
It sure is. It sure is. Yeah, sure is. I agree. I agree. Rod, who was that Kubiak guy that you mentioned again? Is that Gary Kubiak's son?
That's Clint Kubiak. Yeah.
And he's an offensive guy, right? Isn't he offensive-minded guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, fellas, I got a quick little segment I want to run past you. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put down your analysis hat, and I want you to put on your GM hat. What I'm going to do is read some stats from some potential candidates out there, and I want you to tell 3 to Hardway Nation, are you a thumbs up on this guy? Would you hire this guy? Or would you say, absolutely not, this is not what I'm looking for? You guys are the Andrew Berrys now. The captain and Hot Rod.
Smell like a setup,
man. It's not any setup.
I smell it. Okay. It don't smell good. I smell
it. You guys are in your GM office, and the first candidate comes in and says, hey, Cap, Hot Rod, I done rose through the ranks in terms of development, and position coach. I've got a pipeline. I'm carving out a reputation as one of the best defensive line teachers in football. Here's some of my accomplishments. I oversaw major jumps in pressure rates and run fit consistency this year. I developed multiple breakout defensive linemen this year, and I helped transform front 7 units into disruptive assignment groups. Would you hire this guy? Are you interested or are you not interested?
Not interested because defense isn't our problem. I got a guy in the building that can do that already. I don't need you.
I agree.
Exit stage right. Yeah, I don't need you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. That would have been the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, fellas. Good call.
Wow. Yeah.
Good call on that one. Next candidate comes in, say, hey, fellas, I climbed from analytics to be a QB assistant. I was the architect behind the rise of a young elite quarterback. I helped build one of the league's most efficient passing attacks ever. I'm known for elite third down and red zone design. You interested or not interested?
That guy gets a second interview.
Okay.
You stick around. Stick around. Let's go
I
have
mean,
lunch let's tour the building.
chat.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can
we'll chat.
There
Yeah.
you go.
We can
Yeah, we
chat.
sure
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Sure can.
That would have been our guy Dan Pritchard from the Bengals.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Who people have told me we don't want no parts of him.
That
Yeah,
I
Bengals
can
fans
have a
told me no parts of
conversation.
him.
I don't judge a book by the cover. I
Right.
want to listen to what you got to say.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, this candidate comes in, Hot Rod, Cap. I engineered a championship level defense. I'm consistently producing elite defenses every year. I receive multiple struggling defenses and turned them around. My weakness, though, is people say I have scheme rigidity, limited adaptability in the midseason. And I was a head coach before. I was 29-51. You interested, fellas?
No, that record 29-51. No, we've had plenty of those guys before. Exit stage right. No thanks.
But it goes
No
back. I
thanks.
already got my defensive guy. I
Yeah,
don't
already
need
got
a
that.
defensive-minded guy. I need an offensive guy.
Yeah. That would have been Jim Schwartz, fellas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I already got him.
Yeah.
I figured that.
Yeah, that would
I
have.
figured that's who that was.
Yeah. Next candidate comes in, Cap. Hot Rod, I want this job, man. I want this job. I've transformed and rebuilt programs through culture, identity, talent acquisition. I'm motivational, culture first, CEO style of coaching. My accomplishments is all I do is turn around struggling programs. I have a rapid program turnaround growth. My strength is, people say, is leadership and player relationships. No, that's a strength. My strength is leadership and player relationships. My weakness as a coach, people say, is scheme design and roster turnover. I've been a head coach. My record is 43-27, but it's been in the college ranks, not in the NFL. Do you like this candidate, fellas, or no?
Very interesting. Yeah, he sounds interesting. He sounds interesting, especially his record and yeah, there's something about him. Yeah. You get a second interview.
Okay.
He does.
I kick the tires on it.
Fellas, that is prime time Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
Prime
I
time
kick the
Deion.
tires on it.
Last one, fellas. Last one. I have never been a head coach, but I have guided a championship winning offense. Every time that I have been in a leadership position with offense, I have succeeded. I have always elevated quarterback efficiency. I have designed multiple top-tier red zone packages that other coaches use today in the NFL. My strength is quarterback communication and situational play calling. People say my weakness is limited adaptability without elite quarterback play. All right, would you take a flyer on this candidate?
Sure would. I'd like Rod say I kick the tires and invite him back for a second interview. Yeah, he sounds like somebody we need.
That sounds too Stefanski-ish. So I'm like, nah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, fellas, that is Byron Leftwich.
Leftwich,
So
my guy.
T, that's
guy
your guy.
I like.
You've been
A guy I really like.
Yeah.
I really like.
You've been
And
consistent.
don't know what he's doing right now. Don't know. And he was hot coming off that Super Bowl win in Tampa.
He is.
He was hot.
He is up in Colorado with primetime.
He's in Colorado.
He's in
Okay,
Colorado
okay.
with primetime.
Gotcha.
So a lot of
Gotcha.
different.
Because you don't hear about him.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he
you don't
is
hear anything about him.
he is a smart individual. He is respected
Sure
by
is.
a lot of coaches around the league, and so I know the Cap keeps bringing that name up. So I went out and did some research.
Love him.
I really didn't know where he was either, but he's doing a lot of the pass
Right.
game work with the Colorado Buffalo staff up there with primetime.
Okay.
So I didn't even know that, but everybody
And he was tough when he played too. He played a game with a broken leg, man, with a
broken
broken
leg,
lower
yeah.
leg. Yeah,
Yep.
played a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting, man, to see where this Cleveland Browns search goes. I want to throw that out there because I know sometimes, including myself, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes we get really, really biased of people we like,
Yeah.
people we don't like, and that gets overshadowed, in terms of the resume and stuff like that. So I just want to throw some names out there to get your thoughts.
Let me ask y'all this real quick.
Yeah.
How soon does somebody need to be in the seat?
Oh, man, that's a
Okay.
great question.
Because football the NFL is 12 months a year, 24/7. How soon do we need someone in the seat?
So I will take a book from Jason Lloyd, and he said this. He said the Browns have over the years have rushed to mediocrity. They've
Okay,
rushed to it.
I agree with
This
that.
process, I believe, is going to take some time.
Yep.
I think they're going because this is people's jobs is on the line on this one.
Yep.
So, if Andrew Berry is going to be in control of this, they're going to do their due diligence and they're going to pick who they believe is the right guy. So it'll definitely be before the draft, but I don't see them making this a quick process. I
Yeah.
think they're going to take their time to do this. I think they're going to talk to some people, whoever the two teams that are in the Super Bowl this year, they're going to talk to
Yeah.
coordinators and guys on either team. So the Browns are going to take their time. They're
Who
not
in the
going to
booth
rush
would
this
you all
one.
give a call? Who do you see in the booth would you give a call?
What do you mean
That's
in
in the
the booth?
booth.
You mean
In the booth. Someone that's on TV right now that, used to be in the game. Just like today when I was watching
Yeah.
the pregame show, I think with CBS, I was looking at all those guys. I was looking at the old Pittsburgh coach. Remember, he used to be the special
so?
teams coordinator with the Browns back
Yeah.
in the day.
You talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Bill
it's one of
Cowher?
those
Bill
guys.
Cowher,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cowher, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So for me, when you talking about looking in the booth for a head
yeah,
coach, um, Cowher is the first person that comes to my mind. I
Yeah.
know Jimmy
okay.
Johnson is there, you know
Mhm.
what I mean, but you got Howie Long and you
Howie Long.
got
I was just about to mention him. Yeah, Howie
Strahan
Long. Yeah.
and you
Mhm.
have you've got different guys, but Bill Cowher would be intriguing to me.
He was a former
I
Cleveland Browns
know,
assistant.
yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
he was the Cleveland Browns special teams
Special teams
coach.
coach. Yep. I got
I
him in the
do
picture down here.
know that Cowher left the game after his wife passed,
Yep.
and that was some years back. And
Mhm.
he walked away from that. So you'd have to back up the Brinks truck
I know you would.
for Bill Cowher to come out of retirement. Would he be a shot in the arm? Absolutely, because he was intense in Pittsburgh. But in terms of anybody else in the booth, most of those guys would be coordinators to me. Michael Strahan
Mhm.
would defense, JJ Watt defense, those guys. I mean, Matt Ryan.
Rex
Ryan,
Rex Ryan?
no,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
Absolutely
want no
not.
Rex. Yeah.
Rex,
Yeah.
Rex,
Yeah.
Rex Ryan, and I have a person in my camp who coached with him.
Yep.
And I'm not a Rex Ryan guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff, because to me, Rex Ryan is more talk than substance.
Yep.
When you look at his last stint when he was with the Jets, he did a whole lot of talking, but they didn't win.
And win.
So
Right.
he's
Right.
doing that now. He's
Mhm.
doing a whole lot of talking, but he's not win. He won't win anything.
Yeah.
So nah, I'm not a Rex Ryan guy.
When you think about some of those names, Hot Rod and Cap, you always hear the term guys in the booth or guys that have been out of the game for a long time. You always hear people say, well, the game is kind of passed these guys by.
Yeah.
Is that a factor? Like, do you feel like if Bill Cowher, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Dungy, some of these names of guys that have been on TV in the booth for a long, long time that used to be successful, can they be successful in today's NFL?
If they can relate to the players, okay? I don't think the game has passed them by, but it's the players, okay? It's just like I'm no longer in uniform, but I'm still around sailors,
I got you.
okay?
Yep.
I'm still around sailors, and I'm still, in charge of these young kids that are wearing a uniform. They're a whole lot different than when I was in uniform and I had the kids under me,
Yep.
okay? There was a way I could roll, back then 10, 15 years ago that I just can't do now. So to answer your question, I don't think the game has passed them by, but it's the people, it's the players now. These guys are a brand now. They're making so much money. They're a brand. It's all about their clothing line and their likes on Instagram and this and that. So would the old heads be willing to deal with them? Are they built to deal with all of that kind of stuff? So that's what comes to mind. I don't think the game has passed them by, but it's just that the players are different.
Yeah.
I failed to realize there's two guys that in the booth that I think could be tremendous head coaches. Number one, Tony Romo.
Okay.
And number two,
Mhm.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think those guys would be tremendous head coaches, specifically Tom Brady, is because Tom Brady, if you listen to his commentary, Tom Brady, like, he gives you where, like, if you're a football novice, Tom Brady breaks it down to where it's so simplistic that you're like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute, they in the cover two. I need to just throw to the tight end in the seam. He makes it that simplistic.
Yeah.
When it comes to whether these coaches are the game has changed. The game has changed so much
I know.
that I don't think you could put a Jimmy Johnson in today's football where what Jimmy Johnson did back then. I don't think you could take a Bill Cowher, as much as I love Bill Cowher, you can put Bill Cowher back in this. Tony Dungy, who I
Tony
just
Dungy,
absolutely admire,
Yeah.
is Tony Dungy. I don't think you
right.
can put Tony Dungy in this game today. I don't think that these guys would be able to manage.
Yeah.
But when you talk about recent, okay, I would talk to Romo. And Romo would be, if he wouldn't be a head coach, Romo would be a tremendous offensive coordinator. Heck, I said many, many moons ago when it came to the Browns, why did not anybody bring Bernie Kosar in
no kidding.
as an offensive consultant?
Yep.
Why in the world?
Right.
Because when you listen to Bernie Kosar when he was in the booth, it was Bernie Kosar knew blitzes was coming. And he would tell you, okay, they're getting ready to blitz off the edge here. You see it. I know he disguised him, but he's coming. Bernie Kosar would have been a tremendous offensive coordinator. I didn't say head coach. And for quarterbacks, come on, man. Come on. But a lot of these guys, I think time has passed them by.
Yeah. Who do you want, fellas? Who do you want? All things, I know Harbaugh it's slim to none chance that he's going to be here. But if everything was equal, if there was no restrictions and no barriers preventing certain guys to come in, who would you want? If someone said, hey, pick me a coach, who would that be? College or NFL or offensive defensive coordinator? Who would you want?
For me right now, it would be Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Or, crazy as it may sound, the coach that we got at Ohio State right now, I'd be okay with him too.
Yeah,
For
Ryan
some
Day.
reason.
Ryan Day, okay.
Yeah, I sure would.
Yep.
Yeah, I sure would.
For me, if I had a choice to to pick, I'm leaning heavily toward Jim Schwartz.
Okay.
I really am, because when you have the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL with a 5-12 team, and all you have to do is retool your offense.
Yep.
So, making him the head coach to me is easy. The search for your offensive coordinator is what I would focus in more on. I would today, I would say, okay, Jim, you want the job? You got it. Okay. You run the defense, or if you want to bring in a guy that can run your defense, and you call the defense, but we need an offensive coordinator. And this is the search that we're going to have, and we want you involved in this search. We need an offensive coordinator. And so I'm scouring. Okay. Now, the name that I'm looking for offensive coordinator is someone that has not been talked about. And that's Steve Sarkisian at Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard him in head coaching circles as well. But you're right about that.
Yeah. I would have Schwartz as my head coach. I would back up the Brinks truck for Steve Sarkisian.
Or
and
Shermer.
bring
How about
Sarkisian
Shermer?
in.
Or Shermer for your coordinator, offensive coordinator.
Well, Pat Shermer was already in Cleveland, and he kind of soured a lot of people in Cleveland when Pat Shermer was there before. The reason I'm saying Steve Sarkisian, here we go, guys. Here's your conspiracy theory. If you bring Steve Sarkisian in as your offensive coordinator, and let's say, once again, I'm not a Shadurian and I'm not a Shadur hater. If Shadur is not the quarterback next year, who does Steve Sarkisian coach?
Yeah.
He coaches Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Right.
Who would Arch Manning want to play for? His college coach.
Yep.
Right.
Just throwing it out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I would go right now. I would go Harbaugh. And one thing, I need to apologize to Jim Schwartz because my mind is getting old, but I thought that Jim Schwartz was the coach of the Lions when they had that 0-16 season.
I thought so too. He wasn't.
He was not the
L
coach.
Train said that last week.
I know he was not.
You ain't getting no. I know where you going with this. You talking about that last week?
Yeah, no, he was not. He took over right after that season. Now he had one good year. I think his best year with the Lions was 10-6. They made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, he had some really bad years there. But he was not the coach of the Lions when they went 0-16. I thought he was.
Okay,
so apologize out there to Jim Schwartz. But I would go with Jim Harbaugh, or I would be very aggressive if I was the Browns. Like, I would make Harbaugh an offer that he just couldn't refuse to get the coach right. Right. And then outside of that, I would look for permission or look to trade, talk about some draft picks to go get a current coach that's on the staff that I would want to come in and coach the Cleveland Browns. I am all out on defensive and offensive coordinators unless they have successful head coaching experience. That's just where I am with this coaching search. That's what I would do.
Yeah. The only reason I disqualify Harbaugh is because I heard that Harbaugh was I know he had his differences with Jackson, but I heard that the nail in the coffin was because the Ravens wanted him to fire Munkin, the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
And he refused to do it.
Yep.
He refused to do it. So they said, okay, well, since you refused to let Todd Munkin go, we'll let you go.
Yep.
And so do you want, I want my head coach to have autonomy.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to lose his mind. That's just like, let's be honest, with Bubba Ventrone.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Kevin couldn't have got rid of him weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin fell on that sword for Bubba Ventrone.
Yeah.
And that's part of what got him thrown up out, is because he fell on that sword. Listen, y'all my guys, and I love y'all, but if I'm making millions and millions of dollars and y'all guys ain't doing what I need y'all to do, hey, man, we can still be friends, but I'm going to cut you loose. You got to go.
See you, Cap. See you, L Train.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'll holler at y'all later after the season, but y'all got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hey, fellas, this coaching search, I think the next time we do 3 the hard way, I still don't think we'll have anybody in place as a head coach, but I think the picture will shape up a little bit this week. We'll have an idea of some serious candidates and who's not so serious, people that they're not considering. So I'm looking forward to the next time we chat about this subject, where the search is, man, because it's going to be a really, really interesting search.
Yeah, maybe only a couple of teams will have coaches by next week.
That's right.
Maybe just a couple.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, man, with this is a busy time in sports. People don't notice things, man. People come up missing. So, we got people come up missing all the time. Like, not that hopefully I'm not stealing Cap's thunder, but the Oregon Ducks, the Oregon Ducks came up missing. But I'm gonna leave it up to Cap. Cap,
APBs.
Who are your
APBs. Okay. I got a few. I'm going to start with Ole Miss's defense and their inability to tackle, man. Man, I got to give it up to Ole Miss. No, they fought, they played hard, but they just can't tackle, man. That's what killed them. Miami had 459 total yards, in them. And out of that 459, 191 were on the ground.
Man.
Okay? That's what killed them. That's just what killed them. They fought hard.
Yep.
Nobody expected them to be there. We all, I think, picked them as our sleeper.
Yep.
But their inability to tackle. Where is your defense? Where is your ability to tackle? Ole Miss. So I'm putting out an APB on them because they were horrible. Next, remember Dennis Schroeder? Y'all remember him? Dennis Schroeder? Remember back in the days to play for the Hawks?
Yep.
He plays up in NBA Siberia now in Sacramento. And where is he now? Where he's out on a 3-game suspension because I think he took a swing at Luka, okay?
Yep.
I think they said what they were saying is that during the game, Luka was picking on him about that. Remember when the Lakers offered him the 4 years, $82 million extension back in the day? Say Luka was picking on him about that, and Schroeder got mad and, took a swing at him. So now he's, suspended for 3 games. So I'm putting out an APB on him, okay? I remember back in the day, he had the nerve to try to call Kyrie the N-word. Kyrie said, hey, man, you from Germany. You ain't calling me the N-word. Kyrie was going to go to his tail. So Dennis Schroeder, running off at his mouth. He's missing in action, playing up there in NBA Siberia. Got a 1-800 out for him, too. Next, Trae Young. What's this about Trae Young going to the Wizards, man? What's that all about? And some say he may not even suit up and play.
Yep.
Okay? Now, they say he's tied to a couple of the execs that are in the Wizards organization that brought him in, and they want him to be a part of the rebuild, down the line, okay?
Yep.
Because they're tanking now. One time, Trae Young was, a hot thing. Now Rod has another name for him that Marcus was talking about the other day. Marcus is still hot with you for saying that. Yeah, Marcus still hot. But Trae Young, where are you now? You went from one chocolate city to another chocolate city, and we can't find you. We don't know what you're going to be up to. So Trae Young putting the APB out on him. And last but not least, and they just lost, fellas. I got the TV on in the background. The Eagles just lost. A.J. Brown. He's there. He's the Eagles version of our Jerry Jeudy. He dropped 3 key passes today. Right before halftime, the coach got in his face, got on his butt. I tell you, I don't know where that's going to be going in the offseason, but they just lost. And he, once again, was terrible. So, A.J. Brown, where's your ability to be a team player and to catch the daggone ball? So, got an APB out on his behind, too. 1-800, if you see him, don't approach him, okay? So, there you go. Those are my 4 for APB.
Hey, and
my 4.
Listen, when we say don't approach them, don't approach them.
Don't approach them. They're dangerous.
Just call 1-800-THE-CAPTAIN.
The captain.
We'll come get him. We'll come get him.
There you
Great
go.
job.
There you go.
Absolutely.
PB.
Listen, my basketball team the past couple days, we've been turning the ball over a little bit. So I told the girls on my team, I said, hey, if we keep turning the ball over at this high of a clip, we gonna start having 2-a-days. So there is no one better than to get his 2-a-days going this weekend than Hot Rod. You see the whistle right there, Hot Rod. Who are you putting in 2-a-days, man?
So my 2-a-days go is like this. Number 1 is Tony Romo. Tony Romo is coming to my 2-a-days. If you listen to the broadcast today between the Bills and the Jets, he sounded like he was 75 years old, making noises up in the booth. He was, he used to have the ability to call out defenses and what they were going to do.
Come on,
He
Tony.
was wrong all day. Yeah, he was wrong all day. So you get a 2-a-day, Tony. We got to sit down in the film room, refresh your memory, brother.
Set that alarm clock,
and
Tony.
then, yes, next is the Green Bay Packers. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. All of you guys need to come to 2-a-days. That was the worst fallout of a game since the Houston Oilers lost to the Buffalo Bills and Jim Kelly. All of y'all need to come. Fireable offenses. But in the meanwhile, you come for 2-a-days. All right? Last but not least is the University of Oregon. Oh, my goodness. Indiana took y'all out into the woodshed. We had a subject on 3 the Hard Way, and we talked about it. Did the CFP get it right? Well, the way you guys played, you absolutely got it wrong. So you've got not 2-a-days because that B to A, that belt to behind, has earned you 3-a-days, sir. Y'all need to come out, make sure you got your jock strap, make sure you got your jock. You make sure you got your jock straps together. You make sure your cleats is tight. No, y'all not going home for no. Y'all gonna be out here. Y'all gonna run suicides until I think it might be a justifiable homicide. And those are my 2-a-days.
Oh man, no, that was great. Hot Rods 2-a-day. I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it, fellas. 2-a-days.
2-a-days.
Hey man, I got some food for thought. Started this segment last week, and I want to get your thoughts on this. You guys are very knowledgeable about the game of basketball. We haven't had an opportunity to talk any NBA today, but you guys are, still pretty knowledgeable about the league. Here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the most intimidating players in the history of the NBA. The most intimidating players. Who would you have on that list, fellas? I got a list this week, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. So what you have on the list? The most intimidating players ever in the NBA.
Charles
Okay.
Oakley.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley is on the list.
Mhm.
Good job, Irod.
Kobe, would you say Kobe?
Kobe is not on the list.
Oh,
Cap.
wow.
Kobe
No
is
Kobe,
Maurice
not.
okay.
Lucas.
Maurice Lucas is not
Lucas.
on the list.
Anthony Mason, late Anthony
Ooh,
Mason.
I would have said Anthony Mason, but Anthony Mason is not on the list, fellas.
Not on this. Wow.
Okay. Xavier McDaniel.
Wow. X-Man.
Man, that's another good one. He's not on the list, fellas.
The list.
Wow.
How about
incredible.
Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman is on the list.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yep. Dennis Rodman is on the
Okay.
list.
Then Karl Malone.
Karl Malone. Okay.
No Karl Malone, Hot Rod.
Ooh.
What list is this?
Hey man, this is NBA all-time segmented list.
Okay.
Ooh.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille
Yes, sir.
O'Neal is on the list. Good job, all right.
Okay. I'm gonna go way back. L Train. How about Nate Thurman?
Ooh, Nate Thurman is not on the list, but that's a good.
No, Nate Thurman.
that's a good guess.
Okay.
Charles Barkley.
Ooh.
Charles Barkley is on the list. We're dwindling this list down, fellas. Y'all forgetting a big one. I'll give you a hint.
Rajah Bell.
Rajah Bell is not on the list. What about the
Okay.
Malice in the Palace?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Ron Artest.
There you go.
And
Ron.
Ben Wallace.
And Ben Wallace, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lambeer. You can put Lambeer on there,
Man,
too.
I'm
you could.
surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Lambeer is not
Lambeer
on
name
this
wasn't
list.
on there?
I'm
Wow.
shocked
So
at that.
this is so the date it's got to be the later side of the NBA because when you got Shaquille on that list, you got Barkley on that list, you got Artest,
Hakeem.
Ben Wallace
How about
on that
Hakeem?
list. What about Rasheed?
Rasheed Wallace is on the list. Good job.
Rasheed,
All
yeah.
right.
How about Akeem?
No, Akeem is not on the
No
list.
Akeem.
I'll give you the rest of the list. So number
Wes
one.
Unseld before you get a list. Yeah, Wes Unseld.
He ain't gonna be
no,
on that list.
No
Not
Wes.
on the list.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
Number
Okay.
one was Ron Artest. Number two was Dennis Rodman. Number three was Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq. Okay.
Number four, Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt. Okay.
Yep. Number five, Ben Wallace.
Okay.
Mhm.
From Tri-C Community College.
Yep. Number
Mhm.
six,
Tri-C.
Charles Barkley. Number seven, Charles Oakley.
Oak.
Number eight, Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed.
Number nine, DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie Cousins. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
And
Boogie.
what you
Boogie
shaking
Cousins.
your head for, huh, Rod?
Because to
Boogie
me, this is not a true list of intimidating tough
Hey,
guys
man, it's
in
all
the
about
NBA to me.
How do you quantify it, though? It's all about perspective. Hey,
I quantify it to those guys that will punch you in the mouth if you cross them wrong. Buck Williams, Xavier McDaniel, Charles Oakley. Okay, those guys are that ilk. Bill Lambeer, you got to throw Bill Lambeer in there. Okay, you have to throw Rick Mahorn in there.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
I hear you,
These
man.
are tough.
I
Yeah.
can't-
So when you talk about Dennis Rodman wasn't a tough guy to me.
Wait a minute,
He
man.
wasn't.
Dennis
He was a-
Rodman kicked the cameraman
Dennis
at
was
the
tough. He
Target
was tough.
Center.
Yeah,
What you
Dennis
talking
was
That's
about?
not
Dennis
tough.
was
That's
tough.
soft.
Dennis was tough.
That's soft.
Let
He
me-
was an
he was-
antagonist.
Let me round
He
out
was
the
an
list.
He used to
antagonist.
get under your skin. He used to get
Yeah.
under your skin.
Yeah.
Pat Beverly's name could be on there. Pat Bev.
Pat Bev, yeah. But the number
Yeah,
10
Pat Bev.
person on this list, you talk about punching people. Draymond Green rounds out the list at number 10.
Oh, that just completely disqualifies this list.
Wait a
It
minute.
just does.
Draymond punched out
Draymond
Poole.
Green.
He punched out Poole in practice.
He's a selective tough guy. Yeah, he's a semi-tough guy. Like I
Draymond
said on your
Green.
show, Rod. He's a semi-tough guy. He's
Yeah,
semi-tough.
he's a semi-tough
Semi-tough.
guy.
Semi-tough guy.
All right. For me, because and all of y'all know, because we all grew up in that.
Yeah.
I mean, even for the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Yeah.
we had Lonnie Shelton.
Yeah.
Lonnie Shelton
yeah.
and Buck Williams used to fight all the time.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
Maurice Lucas.
Yeah.
All right, I remember when him and Daryl Dawkins got into a fight.
Yep.
These are legitimate, intimidating, tough guys to me.
Yeah.
You know, I just
It's
You
all
know who comes to mind too? Who comes to mind? I know this is just a basketball list.
Yeah.
And one day, hopefully, we'll do it for football. But just who comes to mind after mentioning all those names? He was small, but he was a feisty guy. Steve Smith Sr.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Smith Sr. Yeah, he's one that would throw hands. Football player though, but yes, when you do for football, he just kind of came to mind listening to those guys. He'd bring it
When
to
I
you.
think
man.
when I think of intimidating guys, I'm thinking of guys that's gonna throw hands at you.
It's all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
perspective. Like to me, Steve Nash is not an intimidating guy, but he's intimidating to somebody. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, to somebody. Yeah, somebody's afraid
somebody
of
afraid of him.
him. Yeah.
All right, fellas.
Yep.
Speaking of tough guys, I've got my start one, bench one, cut one, erase one. All right. And so
Okay.
my category this week is you're trying to build the toughest football team ever. The toughest football team ever. So I want you to think about the players that I'm about to mention. Who would you start with if you were building the toughest football team ever? Start one, bench one, cut one, erase one.
Now, L Train, could they play too? Could they play? Aside from being tough, could they play?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
can play. Okay.
Yep. They can play. They can play. The first one is Lawrence Taylor, fellas. Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Famer, Lawrence Taylor. Number 2, Ronnie Lott, safety, San Francisco 49ers. Ronnie Lott, tough guy, can play. Number 3, Ray Lewis, linebacker for the Ravens. Should have been a linebacker for the Browns, but linebacker for the Ravens, tough guy. And then last but not least, Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins. You're trying to start the toughest football team ever. Start one, bench
Wow.
one, cut one, erase one, fellas.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Let me go first, Rod. I'm gonna definitely start with Ronnie Lott. Remember in the game they cut his finger off so he can go back in the game. Cut his finger
man.
off. Yeah, remember?
That.
Yeah,
That. Yes, sir.
cut his finger off. He said, "Cut my finger off so I can go back in the game." That's tough. I'm going to bench LT. Okay, I'm a bench LT. I'm a cut Ray Lewis, cut Ray, and I'm gonna erase B Dog. Now B Dog was tough too. He was. But out of these 4, I would erase him at the end. So again, Ronnie Lott start, bench LT, cut Ray Lewis, and erase B Dawkins. That's me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I got the same thing. I have the same exact order: Ronnie Lott, Lawrence Taylor,
Yeah.
Ray Lewis, and then Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And fellas,
Yep.
we're about to sweep this because I got the same thing.
Wow.
Ronnie
wow.
Lott, cut my finger off, let me in. I mean,
Wow.
that's better than
Yeah,
the
let me
Rocky
in.
movies. Cut me, Mick, cut me.
Yeah.
No, cut my finger off. Lawrence Taylor, you know what a psycho he was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ray Lewis, remember in
yeah.
New York when they were peeing on the field and people asked, why you guys peeing on the field? Hey, we're marking our territory.
Marking our
Yep,
territory.
and Brian Dawkins is last on the list in terms of erase.
Yep.
That is my start one, bench one, cut one, erase one.
That was a good one.
fellas.
That was a
Woo.
good one. Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
one. Wow, we all on one accord.
Yeah, man, that's
Wow.
first time that's ever happened on 3 the
Yep.
hard way.
I think so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, fellas, let's get to our parting shots so we can get out of here. What are your parting shots for the week?
Yeah, I was going to go politics, but no, I'm going to keep it to sports. Today, the Jaguars fought hard, okay? They fought hard, came up short against a Buffalo Bills team that, there's no Lamar Jackson in there. There's no Patrick Mahomes. So, Josh Allen has a clear shot to the bowl this year. Not saying that they're going to win it, but he's got a clear shot. But that Jaguars team has always been kind of special to me. I've always kind of low key rooted for them. I bought my first house in Jacksonville back in the day, and I was living there when that team came to town, okay? When they first came in the league with the Carolina Panthers back in 94, I was living in Jacksonville. So I've always had kind of a little bit of fondness, for that team and that city. So it was kind of sad to, see them get beat today. They came up a little short with their first year, head coach. So keeping it to sports, that'll be my parting shot. You'll be back next year, Jacksonville, Duval as they call them, but again, I
Duval.
found myself, kind of low key, rooting for them today. Came up short.
So my parting shot, I have to shout out Cap's kid, Marcus. Marcus, this is for you. We're going to talk a little Trae Young because I know you've been waiting on this. So I'm going to wait to the end of the show
Marcus.
to talk about this Trae Young thing. Okay, I know you were a little upset that I said he was a poor man's Seth Curry. Okay, I want you to prove me wrong on this because he decided to go to Washington. He went on a trade. He decided to go to Washington. Tell me where Trae Young makes anyone better. He hasn't. He hasn't made anybody better. He's gone to 3 playoffs in 8 years for the Hawks. Okay? Now, he can score. Don't get me wrong. He can score. But to be a superstar, you have to make people better. And now he decided to go to Washington because he thought he's going to get the bag. Okay? But the next best player on Washington's team is the center by the name of Alex Sarr. Name me anybody else because there's no one else. All right? And so Trae Young, and here's my parting shot. Trae Young makes no one better. He's a good scorer, but he is an average basketball player at best. Average, okay? So I'll take back the Seth Curry thing. I'll take that. Okay, maybe more like Muggsy Bogues. Let's do that. No, I'm joking. But my parting shot is Trae Young. Trae Young does not want to win. This trade alone has proven that Trae Young does not want to win. He just wants the money. Okay? He wants the money because he's not playing. He's been injured. But is he going to elevate Washington to a championship level? Is he the piece that's going to elevate the Washington Wizards to a championship level? And the answer is absolutely not. So Trae Young gets the shout out, my parting shot, because he is an athlete who just went to go get the money. Have a great week, Marcus.
There you go. Okay.
My parting shot is for the Cleveland Browns organization. And the Cleveland Browns, here's what I want you to do, Cleveland. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to find some film, and I want you to look at the parade that the Cleveland Cavaliers had when LeBron James and the crew won the championship. And
I was in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. Just look at what
there.
downtown Cleveland looked like. Look at the enthusiasm. Look at the passion. Look at it, Cleveland Browns. Look at it when you're thinking about your coach and who's the next coach going to be. Then I want you to go back to some old Cleveland Brown footage when they were playing the Denver Broncos in Municipal Stadium and Bernie Kosar drops back in the pocket and he hits Brian Brennan and Brian Brennan scoots for the touchdown. And for that moment, I want you to look at the stands. I want you to look at the dog pound. I want you to look at that whole stadium for a minute. We had thought we won the Super Bowl, fellas. I want the Cleveland Browns. We thought we were going to the Super Bowl. I want the Cleveland Browns brass to look at those two moments. And before you start the interview process seriously, I just want you to visualize what you're seeing and then go into those meetings and make those decisions. And that will lead you to your next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Get it right. Get it right, Cleveland Browns. That's my parting shot.
There you go. Great take.
Good
Great
shot.
take,
Yeah.
Great take. Yep.
Well, fellas, again, another great episode, man. This was a lot of fun today. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. We got through a lot of stuff. 3 the hard way. Please hit that like and subscribe button. As always, like we tell you, each week we continue to grow and grow and grow. So continue to support us. We really appreciate it. Hot Rod T, anything left to say to 3 the Hard Way Nation?
Three the Hard Way Nation. Everybody have a good week. Be safe out there. There's a lot of flu and cold and COVID going around, so y'all be safe. We all be safe. We don't need y'all to get sick. We need y'all to be alive and well and feeling good so you can listen to us next week. So be safe. Take your vitamin C tablets. Take your vitamin C.
Everybody have a
Be
great
safe.
week. Make your week. Don't let your week make you.
That's
There
a
you
great
go.
one. So we will be back
There you go.
next Sunday on 3 the Hard
go.
Way. See you, fellas. We'll see you when you see you.
See ya. All right.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.